Light-skinned women are valued more than light-skinned men. Light-skinned women, for some reason in the black community, is seen as sexy, is seen at the top of the line. And a lot of light-skinned women notice that because they light-skinned, they get a certain type of privilege among black people. I don't know.
The only privilege light skinned women get is getting with dusty, dark skinned men and catching HIV and becoming single mothers. All right. Yes, they just get their ego stroked more than dark skinned women do. And dark skinned men do this on purpose because they want light skinned women to compete with dark skinned women for their own ego. All right. First off, light skinned people shouldn't be a part of the black community. They need their own community separate from dark skinned people like they always have. They always had a community separate from dark skinned people. There's supposed to be a dark skinned Negro community and a light skinned mulatto community. Light skinned people don't have their own community because they keep trying to absorb themselves into the dark skinned community, and it makes them weak and immune to being attacked, etc. All right, so light skinned people seem for some odd reason not to understand this, which is going to happen regardless because once just by us communicating with each other online is some form of community. But I do think it's going to manifest itself in real life soon.
Why? But light-skinned men are seen as soft.
It's light skinned dudes being soft is not based in reality. It's delusion. It's nothing but a dark skinned supremacist ideology that was made by dark skinned men and dark skinned women. It's not based in reality. Dark skinned men do not do anything more masculine than light skinned so called black men or mulatto men. I mean, a lot of it has to do with street culture, but I mean, light skinned men are not the only one who doesn't worship street culture. You have Asian men, Latino men, all these other groups of men who don't worship street culture and they don't get the soft label on them. It's just cock blocking and trying to brainwash these women into not liking their counterparts. It's just dark skin supremacy. That's all it is. It's nothing, and you guys need to call it out.
Are seen as soft and dainty and blase blase. So when you date light-skinned, not all of them, please don't come on here saying I'm light-skinned and I'm not that way. I don't give a fuck. If it don't apply to you, let the shit fly. So when you date light-skinned women, you're dating the ego like you're supposed to just kiss their fucking asses.
And that's because of dark skinned men and their simp ways, but they do that on purpose because they want these girls to compete with them. Of course, in the dark skinned community, you have to follow dark skinned people's rules. And dark skinned people's rules is what? Y'all light skinned people cannot date each other. Y'all cannot show preferential treatment to one another. Y'all can't speak to one another. You must worship dark skinned people, especially dark skinned males. That's his stomping grounds. So light skinned people have to get out of the dark skinned community and do their own thing. All right? Stop trying to absorb themselves in with dark skinned people all the time and have their own thing going on. I say it all the time. It's nothing. If light skinned men don't like that, they need to start connecting with other light skinned men and women and build a social presence, social media presence, and communicate with one another. It's simple. Stop trying to go out of your way all the time to hang around dark skinned men all the time and go find some light skinned partners to kick it with. It's simple and compete in society. That's the answer.
Because they're light-skinned. They're close to white. And in some cases, some of you motherfuckers are just like dating light-skinned women because you one step away from dating white women.
Yes, they use them for social status. Light skinned women know that dark skinned men use them for social status. Not all of them, but a lot of them know that already. It's not a secret. They use them for something they didn't do. Have been doing it throughout history. I say it all the time. Look at Martin Luther King. All right, Martin Luther King. Look who he was with. He was with a basically a mulatto chick, and he kept cheating on her with white women. That's all he did was cheat on Henrietta with white women all day. Look at Michael Jordan. They use light skinned people as mules to get white acceptance, and they use light skinned people as stepping stones to be adjacent to white people. That's all light skinned people are really there for in their minds. And That's all it's really for. Like also with black women do the same thing with light skinned guys. Sometimes they'll date a light skinned guy. Sometimes because they actually generally like them, but a lot of times they also just want white acceptance, and they feel like they don't really need light skinned people for that no more because their social status is they're already beneath us. Like white people, these liberal whites are already praising us for being dark brown, dark skinned. We don't need these light skinned people for real. Now dark skinned men are not gonna throw light skinned women away because that's vagina, right? But they don't really need y'all anymore. Now y'all not black anymore. Y'all not down no more. And they're trying to kick you out now because their social status is already where they want it to be. That's all it really is about.
On the other hand, some of y'all just dating light-skinned men because you think you're going to run over them because they don't have the same stigma attached to them that dark-skinned men have to them. But here's the problem. Color of skin don't make a person. There are some ugly-ass light-skinned women out there. And there are some thuggish-ass light-skinned men out there. And if you got a good man and you want to dog him because you got light skin and you think you better than everyone, you're fucking dumb.
I don't think this is what, if he's trying to apply it to Ayesha Curry, it could be that, but I don't think that's what this whole fiasco is about with her. If that's what he's trying to imply, is that she's dogging him because he's light skinned. And it could be like, when you're a light skinned guy, you're in a relationship, you gotta understand these people are always trying to humble light skinned men. All this shit is just humbling tactics. And you'll notice how when these women get with dark skinned men or white men, they don't disrespect them because they don't humble these men. They let them be ego driven and be arrogant and be cocky, and it doesn't really affect them. It doesn't bring their insecurities out. But with a light skinned guy, they're always going to try to humble you, especially amongst women of color. They're always going to try to embarrass you and try to say that they settled for you. And it's really just a humbling tactic. So it's a different experience that we got from them. All right, but don't make these people brainwash you and thinking that we inferior to these people. We actually are superior. Light-skinned men are superior to all groups of people, low-key. And I'm not trying to come off as like we're better than nobody, but I'm just saying the facts. We dominate every field. We look the best. If we didn't, y'all wouldn't feel the need to keep doing this. Every sport is dominated by a mulatto man. The top of the pinnacle, the best of the best, is a mulatto man. Every masculine endeavor is dominated by a light-skinned man. That's like, stop it. Now I have to stop with this fake delusion. This lady right here is the only lady I feel like who got it kind of correct. Got it right with Ayesha and Steph.
Phase, that's what I heard one of these birds say. What good did Ayesha Curry needed a whole phase? That's what I heard one of these birds say. What good did the whole phase do for a lot of y'all? Only thing a lot of y'all benefited from it was STDs, babies, men who didn't want you, dog walked you, and then eventually you just ended up with a bunch of emotional trauma that you carry on into every situation that you've been in since that point. The only thing I took from what Ayesha Curry said is that she wanted the boss chick. She wanted to be the most important person in that relationship. She wanted to be the well-known, famous person. She wanted to be famous in her own merit. She didn't want to be Steph Curry's wife. She didn't want to be known for being somebody's wife. She wanted to be the person that was known, and then the other person who was with her would be the person who would be associated with being with Ayesha Curry. That's what I took from it. It sounds more like it's ego-driven more than anything, not sex-driven. Every time she opened her mouth, it seems like it's ego-driven, right? Even down to the wanting attention from men. I don't think she wanted attention from men so she could sleep with a bunch of men. I think she wanted attention from men, again, to boost her ego. I think people...
And then haven't I been telling y'all, like when you over-sexualize these women, like these light-skinned girls who get over-sexualized by these different groups of men, that's an ego boost for them. Don't let them lie to you and say they don't like it. That's BS. All right? They like being over-sexualized by men. It's a boost to their ego.
Get just how young she was when she got with Steph Curry. So her saying that she didn't dream of being a mother or a wife at that time, that's not unheard of. That's not really that crazy. Sometimes people never change their mind about it, and sometimes you meet a person that make you change your mind about it. One thing I can guarantee you is that Ayesha Curry, regardless of how she feel or what she thinks she might have missed out on, she would never trade places with the people who telling her to have a whole phase. She would never trade places with you, right? She would never give up what she ended up with to take what you got. And y'all men who talking about she embarrassing Steph Curry, he's married to her. They have to see each other every day. They talk to each other every day. If he really wanted her to shut up and stop doing these interviews and saying the stuff that she be saying, she probably would be doing the interviews and saying the stuff that she be saying. So clearly he ain't really got that big of a problem with what she be running around her mouth saying. He probably done heard her say it before. I'm sure that's not the first time he's heard it out his wife's mouth. Keyword, his wife's mouth that he's been married to for years. Y'all men don't keep the same energy when it comes to disrespect that you do when women disrespect the men that they with, right? You don't seem to have a big enough problem with men disrespecting the women that they be with the way you do when women disrespect the men that they with. It's disrespectful regardless of who do it. Embarrassing your partner is never cool, man or woman. You don't disrespect your partner. You don't say crazy stuff about your partner in front of company. Whatever you feel about your partner, you take that up with your partner, but you don't say that kind of stuff in public. It's wrong on man or woman's side. To bring the point back home, no, she didn't need a whole phase, and y'all love giving out terrible advice to other women so that they can end up in the same boat as you. But the reality is most of y'all didn't benefit from having one.